actually happened. Of course it happened.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and Elon Musk is at it again. Now, I admit, I'm a fan of the man. I watch his nearly every SpaceX launch. I'm going to see a launch in January, and, well, my wife owns a Tesla, okay? I am a fan of what Elon Musk does. Now, I'm not here to shill for his cars or his space program. Whether you like or dislike him, the impact he's going to have on society and humanity, he's going to be discussed in history books. This is just an undeniable fact. Look what he's doing with Starlink. He's going to give high-speed internet, low-latency internet, satellite internet access all around the world affordably. He's pushing the space program ahead. His company, Tesla, forced the entire American auto industry to get off their rears and start pushing some things forward. And he also is a bit of a memester. So on December 14th, he posted this meme. When you put he, him in your bio, and then you just obviously have this, I love to oppress. It's so great. You're just loving it. And it was liked by 265,000 people, received just 10,000 comments, and a tiny percentage of them outraged. Of course, now all the hit pieces have started. Look, Elon Musk hasn't had much time for PC culture, even though he seems to be addicted to dating and marrying far lefty weirdos. But, hey, I guess you like who you like. Elon doesn't really care, and that's why the media really, 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 really hates him. And if you look through some of the replies, most of them are just kind of funny. Brittany Venti getting in here with the cyberpunk meme. Vaush doesn't get it. Shockingly, Vaush doesn't get it. And again, this is, how do you say, Twitter. Most people think it's hilarious. In fact, even for Twitter, 250,000 likes to 10,000 comments. You couldn't even come close to calling that any kind of ratio. Even the quote tweets, people kind of getting mad. I hope she takes your child away and raises him for herself, by the way. Children are dying in your cobalt mines. It's just so funny. I hate this man. I hate you. Just people lose their mind over him mocking pronoun use. Here's an aside before we read some of the pieces that really started this. Here's the thing. The trans community, as I've experienced it, are awesome people. It's the trans advocates, which are usually straight white women, that are difficult. I think that you have to allow conversations around certain things to happen. And this is one, issues around the trans community, are just non-starters unless you are trans or unless you blindly are supporting any particular issue. I think the trans community has 1,000 more important issues than people mocking pronouns in the bio. And I think any trans person would agree with that. It's the tiny percent of trans activists, most of them are slacktivists just on Twitter, that really do more harm than good, in my opinion. Berating people about this kind of stuff really doesn't help mainstream acceptance, does it? It has the opposite effect. When you see this kind of stuff, normies see this and they're like, what? Like, go try to explain to my dad about pronouns. It's just never going to happen. But you would probably have a chance to say, like, hey, some people, they identify a different way and, live and let live. And then you move on. Every time the internet spins up this crazy outrage mob, like anytime I talk about it, there's a legitimate always attempt to like cancel me and freak out. Gotten to the point now where it's difficult to even cover any of these type of topics. even though, like, I obviously support the trans community. I support them having the same rights as anyone else does. I disavow people criticizing them for their appearance or other things that, you know, are outside of their control. I disavow all of that, and I don't take part in it either. The only difference is I don't lose my mind over pronouns in the bio, and that's not enough for some people. And that's exactly what this is. You see this clean technica. Real friends interrupt you when you're making a mistake. And this is an article about Elon Musk, to which he replies, I absolutely support trans, but all these pronouns are an aesthetic nightmare. Well, I mean, people making fun of him then for how he named his child, which is also kind of hilarious. It's a fair meme, right? Going after marginalized people is never cool or funny. Attacking those who support them is also uncool. Do people even use that term anymore? Do people even want to be cool? There are entire cities in this country and just in America that have freaking curfews right now, that have to put on a stupid thing on their face just to go buy broccoli. Okay? People don't care about being cool. All right? People are trying to put dinner on the table for their families, keep their jobs, figure out what they're going to do about childcare because their kids' school shut down and both parents work, if they're even still together, which is like barely over 50% of the families. All right? These are things that like people are concerned about in 2020, not about being cool. Elon Musk's recent tweet did both of these things, regardless of whether he meant to do that. He shared a meme that said, when you put he, him in your bio above an image of a soldier with blood on his hands and a hat that says, I love to oppress, with the dead and dying in the background. I do get that this might be aimed at the overbearing left-wing activists. Stop. Stop right there. That's exactly who it's aimed at. I genuinely believe that Elon Musk doesn't even understand. You know, he might be able to put a rocket into orbit and then bring it back, but I doubt he even can like conceptualize trans folks. And even if if that's not the case, he certainly doesn't care. The idea of painting Elon as like actively anti-trans is absurd. And again, it makes you look stupid. It minimizes real issues that trans folks have to deal with. I'm sure that, again, that pronouns in the bio jokes are probably like number 1,000 on the lists of things that trans folks actually have to deal with every day that's unique to their community. Again, if some of the language I'm using, you know, if I'm not using correct language, it's not on purpose, all right? I'm not trying to offend. I'm just trying to come at this as a normie. I often talk about the brand, right? The brand, the trans brand. Because I'm as a marketer, this is how I think of it. And nobody does more damage to the trans brand than straight white women. Nobody does more damage to the trans brand than far left activists who want to cancel everybody. Every time somebody, misspeaks or doesn't react the perfect way to something. These are people that actively cultivate hate for a community when it's one that just wants, in my experience, to be like everyone, to get along with everyone else and not be treated as some sort of subsection of a community. They just want to be a part of the community. And when you talk about, the far left and the way they treat people who make jokes or who maybe don't react well, or they just don't know how, all the latest terminology, they're not the ones that take the heat. It's the trans community, because then somebody in real life meets somebody who is trans, and they're like, "Oh, is this? I'm afraid to use the right terminology. I'm afraid to maybe use the wrong pronouns." And that's not. I can't imagine that's not what they want. They want to just talk to somebody like anyone else and to get along, and not have this specter of, oh my God, I might I have to walk on eggshells because I might say the wrong word. I don't think that that's, and in my experience, that's not what actual members of the trans community on the whole feel like. Again, I'm not cool with someone getting, quote, canceled unless they do something truly heinous. This person is really worried about being cool. All right, so then after this article comes out, Elon replies. Then you get all sorts of stuff. Elon Musk blasted for posting transphobic meme mocking people who share their pronouns. Well, I do think it's funny. I do think, look, if you want to put your pronouns in your bio, nobody's stopping you, all right? I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying it's funny. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's funny because of the way, just like the meme, people do that and they're like, oh, I'm so progressive. Heap praise upon me, LGBTQ community. I am an ally. It's cringe. It's Twitter. It's like the definition of the least you could do. In an unwanted sequel to his claim that pronouns suck, Musk, known for his union-busting practices, shared a meme deriding Twitter users who put their pronouns in their bios. It wasn't deriding them, it was just making fun of them. Musk tweeted, and really just a small subsection. Musk tweeted a meme of a British redcoat who loved to oppress fighting the American Revolutionary War. The tweet immediately stirred up controversy, with countless users accusing Musk of thinly veiled phobias. But it really wasn't. It wasn't that, and only a tiny percent of the responders even cared. With 250,000 likes, they're just faking this. They're faking this cancellation. Ultimately, this is ridiculous. Musk was once fined $20 million by security regulators for a tweet about taking Tesla private. Well, that was stupid. He often uses his Twitter account to share obtuse, provocative memes and messages, like everyone else. In April, he was called out by his own partner, the musician Grimes, for tweeting that pronouns suck. Grimes, who shares a child, I don't know how to say that name, with Musk, wrote in a now deleted tweet, "I love you, but please turn off your phone and give me a call. I cannot support this hate. Please stop. I know this is not in your heart." Again, it's not hate. It's just poking a little fun. And there's nothing more, how do I say, normal than being made fun of. And of course, you got Dana Schwartz here. Remember, the same person that lost her mind over South Park? You named your kid a Wi-Fi password. Again, so what does his kid have to do with it? After all, I love Elon. I love that he continues to push forward. I hope he lives very long, and I hope he continues to piss people off. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.